Luton, Rotherham and Stevenage are all projected to do poorly in the first season of Football Manager 2024. Luton are projected to finish in 19th, Rotherham are predicted to finish in 24th, and Stevenage are projected to finish in 17th. In this video, I'm going to look at a plug and play tactic and test it out with all three teams as we look to see if the tactic can help them all beat the drop. Knap might just be one of the very best tactic creators for Football Manager 2024. I've been taking a look through his extensive catalogue of tactics to see if I could match up any of those tactics with some real life systems that managers use in the real footballing world. The focus of today's video is going to be Carlo Ancelotti. He likes to run a 4-3-1-2 system at Real Madrid, and I think I have found Knap's version in the form of the WAF Carlo 4-3-1-2. It stands for Wheels of Fire, and I think this is a system that matches up perfectly with what Real Madrid do. As always, if you want to download this tactic straight away, there will be a link in the description down below. If you download at this point, I only ask two things of you. Firstly, hit the like button on the video just to help it go out to other people. And secondly, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of these other tactic tests that will be coming your way. As always, if you are here just for the results section, you can feel free to jump forwards to that. I'm going to run the test with Luton, Rotherham and Stevenage to see what happens when these tactics are put in the hands of teams that are not expected to do well in their leagues. If you're here for the breakdown though, let's jump into that. So starting off at the back, you will have a sweeper keeper set to support. On the left, a wing back set to attack. Two ball playing defenders set to defend. And on the right, a wing back set to attack. You'll have a deep lying playmaker set to support. Two Mazzalas, both set to attack. You'll have a shadow striker set to attack. And two advanced forwards set to attack. With most Knap tactics, this comes with a custom tiki-taka tactical style. Its mentality is attacking, so you will go on the front foot. The in possession will look like this. The in transition will look like this. And the out of possession will look like this. So this is a system that has brought Carlo Ancelotti a lot of success over the years, and he's currently utilising it at Real Madrid to great effect. Let's jump to the results section to see how it will get on with Luton, Rotherham and Stevenage. To kick off the results, we are going to look at Luton Town first, and you can find them 9th in the Premier League. They will get 52 points from 38 games. We'll come back to the Premier League in just a moment. Let's look at the cup competitions. Firstly, they were knocked out in the 5th round of the FA Cup by Leicester City, and in the Carabao Cup they would be knocked out in the 3rd round by Fulham. So let's break down this Premier League campaign that Luton have had. Starting off by saying they have won 16 of 38 games. They would draw 4 times, but they would lose 18 times. They would get a -6 goal difference and finish on 52 points. That is some way behind Chelsea, who are in 7th place. So it would be 11 points there, and it would be 24 points behind Tottenham, who would finish in 5th place. You can see Adebayo would finish runner-up as the Golden Boot in the Premier League, 21 goals. Let's look at some other squad numbers, starting off with Adebayo scoring 26 goals from 38 appearances. Jacob Brown would get 21 goals and 8 assists. Carlton Morris 13 goals and 3 assists. You would have Ross Barkley getting 13 goals and 7 assists. Looking at the data hub to show you some of the numbers there, starting off with the defending. Goals conceded per game 2.37. Expected goals against per game 2.08, and only 7 clean sheets from 38 in the league. If we look at the attacking numbers, goals per game is 2.21, non-penalty XG is 1.93, shots per game is 13.63, and pass completion ratio is 85.89. So looking at the data hub and looking at the league table show that Luton actually have done really well to finish as high as they have in the league, and we kick off with a 9th place and 52 points. Next up, we are dropping down to the Championship, where we are looking at Rotherham, and although you can't see them on the Sky Bet Championship graphic, we can tell you that they have actually finished in 5th place and would be knocked out in the playoffs. Looking at the FA Cup, they would be knocked out in the 4th round by Everton, and in the Carabao Cup, they would go out in the 4th round at the hands of Arsenal. If we look at the Championship in a bit more detail then, just to break down the league for you, from 46 games, they would win 27, they would draw 7, have 12 losses, a goal difference of 40, and they would finish on 88 points. And when you look at the Championship table, there'll be 3 teams finishing on 88 points, 2 teams finishing on 91. So a point or 2 here or there could have seen them be one of the automatic promoted places, or it could have put them higher up in terms of the playoffs. If we look at those playoffs, in the semi-finals, they were drawn against Leicester, where they would lose 5-3. Looking at some of the stats here, though, Jordan Hugill, runner-up as Golden Boot for the Championship with 25 goals. He was the best player with our best average rating of 7.29, and Lambisca was 7.25. Cohen Bramall got 21 assists, and Lambisca would get 16 assists. Looking at the squad and some of the numbers from there then, Hugill would get 28 goals and 5 assists, Apaya 20 goals and 3 assists, Cafu 18 goals and 9 assists, Georgie Kelly would get 18 goals and 4 assists, Rathbone 11 goals and 14 assists, Clucas 8 goals and 10 assists, and down here Cohen Bramall getting 23 assists from 45 appearances from left back. Looking at the data hub at some of those numbers, conceded per game 1.92, expected goals against per game 1.57, and 9 clean sheets. In terms of attacking, goals per game 2.71, non-penalty XG per game was 2.13, shots per game 15.10, and pass completion of 85.11%. So they have actually done really, really well when you look in terms of the Championship, finishing in 5th place with 88 points. It could have been different had they got just a few more points. And finally, we are going to look at Stevenage in League One, and the first thing that you'll notice is they got agonisingly close to promotion as they would lose to Portsmouth in the playoff final. In the FA Cup, they would get knocked out in the 3rd round by Preston. In the Carabao Cup, they would get knocked out in the 3rd round by Watford. And in the English Football League Trophy, knocked out in the Southern Section 3rd round by Peterborough United. If we look at the Sky Bet League One campaign in a bit more detail, from 46 games played, they would win 23, draw 11, lose 12, have a goal difference of 40, and they would finish on 80 points. That's just 8 points behind Blackpool, who would win the league, 6 behind Oxford, who finished in 3rd, and 7 behind Derby. It was enough to put them into the playoffs, where unfortunately, as you saw, they would lose in the final. In the semi-finals, they would beat Charlton 4-3 on aggregate, and then they would lose to Portsmouth 4-2. Looking at a few stats, Jamie Reid, 18 goals, average rating of 7.24, Nathan Thompson, 15 assists, and Dan Butler, 14. Looking at a few more of those squad numbers then, you would see Jamie Reid would get 23 goals from 7 assists, Elliot List would get 23 goals and 9 assists, Jordan Roberts, 17 goals and 8 assists. Harvey White, 15 goals and 15 assists. Further down, Nathan Thompson with 18 assists. And Dan Butler also chipping in with 18 assists. Looking at the Data Hub numbers then, team defending, conceded per game 1.94, expected goals against per game 1.56, and 7 clean sheets. In terms of attacking, 2.73 goals per game, 2.41 non-penalty XG per game, 17.37 shots per game, and a pass completion ratio of 84.77%. So Stevenage overall have done fantastic, both them and Rotherham far outperforming their seasonal predictions, and we have Luton finishing in a respectable position in the Premier League and mainly succeeding with what they wanted to do, which firstly was avoid relegation, and then anything else was a bonus. So a tactic that is going to work wonders, and Carlo Ancelotti really likes this system. So let me know in the comment section, are you going to try Carlo's 4-3-1-2?